I became uncomfortable leading in my masculine side because I noticed I was restricting myself and I felt like I had to just be masculine and put my femininity away. I got tired of how I was existing as a woman. Am I gonna have that instant click and instant love for her? And I didn't. And it was really hard to admit that. I was constantly competing with myself. I was constantly at battle with myself. This whole time I felt like I was trying to prove myself to other people when in reality I was trying to prove myself to myself. Hey girl. So it's time we had that conversation about femininity. I've entered this new mindset when it comes to who I am. This is going to be a very kind of conversation about my femininity, my journey with femininity, what femininity and feminine energy means to me, because they are two very different things. I welcome you to the conversation with open arms. But remember that this is my personal story, that what I say is my personal opinion and only my personal opinion. So hey, what's up? If you're new to my channel, my name is Jessiara, and on this video podcast, we talk all things business, wellness, self-care, lifestyle, and so much more. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then consider subscribing. And before we continue, don't forget to like this video, because if you want to see your girl grow and flourish, help me out a little bit. So what is femininity? What does femininity actually mean? Femininity is the way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you talk, you act, the way that you are, and the way that your being is. It doesn't just mean delicate and soft and timid and to yourself. Femininity is so much more than just being a delicate soft flower, which is how femininity has been perceived in the eyes of the media. I think the way that femininity is perceived via social media and books and movies is someone being soft and delicate and soft-spoken and very girly and wearing floral clothing and talking very soft and being very polite. When in reality, I think femininity is so much more than that. And with my journey to understanding what femininity is and learning to balance my masculine and feminine energy, it's been so important, because prior to this discovery, I feel like I've been in this mindset of scarcity and being repressed. I feel like I've been in this stuck mindset for years. I'm 21, by the way, for reference, if you don't know. I'm 21 with a 2-year-old. I'm a mother. I became a mum at a young age. And ever since becoming a parent and becoming a mum, my partner's still very much in the picture. We are together. We've been together for nearly 4 years now. I felt like I had to force myself into being maternal. As a mother, I've learned in my 2 years of being a parent that I am indeed more masculine. And it's been hard for me to acknowledge that and to say that out loud, because as a mum, you're supposed to be maternal, you're supposed to be soft, you're supposed to be giving and caring and loving. And I am all those things, but I'm also very masculine in the way that I conduct myself in general, besides being a parent, also in work, in business, in friendships, in relationships. I do have a very dominant masculine side. When I was dating people and meeting new people, even in friendships and just meeting new people and coming across new individuals, I came across as very intimidating. Like the first thing people would tell me once they've gotten to know me a little bit is, you know, when I first met you, Jess, you were really intimidating. And that's because I lead with my masculinity, because that's how I've learned in my life how I get things and how I get to places and situations that I want to be in. For example, in work and in business, I lead with my masculine side because I know that if I lead with my femininity and being soft and being more reserved, I know that it won't get me in spaces that I want to be in. And I'm not saying that you can't be successful if you lead with your femininity, because I know that's been the case for so many people. But for me, in my experience, working in business, working with individuals, working with high value individuals and businesses, I've had to lead with my dominant side, and that means taking charge and understanding what I want. And especially being a woman who's self-employed, who works with big brands, and I need to learn to negotiate. I need to learn to be confident and dominant and stand my ground, especially when it comes to me, because my image, my brand is very important to me. Therefore, I can't let anyone get in the way of that. I also don't like being told what to do, which in some circumstances has been very negative in terms of just being received wrongly. Because from what I perceive to be a woman of high value and someone who knows what she's talking about and someone who knows herself, to someone else and to someone who doesn't know me as well may see me as being intimidating and rude and like overconfident, cocky even. So I can understand why I've been perceived that way. So yeah, I lead with my masculine energy, and what that means stereotypically is I lead with my confident side. I lead with being outspoken, speaking my thoughts, speaking my emotions, speaking my feelings, and existing aggressively. So I want to expand on my previous point, existing aggressively, and what that means. So when I say that I used to exist aggressively, it just means that I made my existence known. And I made my existence known to everyone. I made sure that everyone knew about me, what I was doing, who I am, current projects that I'm doing. And I just wanted to make people know me. I wanted to be known. And I'm not afraid to admit that in the past, and I say in the past, like a few months ago, that I tried to get to this level of like, not fame, but I really wanted to be known in terms of not being famous and not being trendy, not being like an influencer. I just really forced the narrative that I am made for so much more. And I've always believed that, and I'm not afraid to admit that, because I know in the past some people may see that as being big-headed or, you know, cocky or whatever, but that's just the vision I've always had for myself, and I know that's a vision that's going to come true very, very soon. But I used to exist aggressively, and everything that I'd done, I showed up in extreme lengths. Like, tried my best to perform. It felt like I was putting on a performance for people, and looking back at that, I really understand that I feel like I was trying to force a narrative that wasn't true. I tried to force a narrative that I am the strong, confident female who can't be messed with, and that I don't have a soft side, and I really tried to push my femininity to the side. And the only way I would embrace my femininity is in my relationship with my partner and in the way that I dressed. I still like to wear, you know, body hugging clothes. And so those qualities that I've just mentioned aren't bad at all. If anything, I encourage you as women, as females, to lead with your masculine side in certain aspects of your life. And I feel like for me, it got to the point where I was just like, I was so tired trying to prove myself and trying to show up as someone who I wasn't, being overly confident, trying to outshine my peers rather than being myself and showing that I am indeed caring, I am indeed loving, I am indeed a maternal figure. Because before I gave birth to my daughter, I always worried, am I gonna have that instant click and instant love for her? And I didn't. And it was really hard to admit that, especially being on the internet at the time, being 19 years old with a newborn. People were attacking me, and then I had to feel like, okay, let me toughen up a little bit. And then I put on this outer shell, and then it led me to where I was. And I just got so tired of trying to prove myself. I got tired of how I was existing as a woman. I got tired of how I was existing as a mother, as a content creator, as a businesswoman, as a friend, as a sister, as a girlfriend. I just got tired of my existence in terms of just who I was being, because it wasn't me. And I felt like I was performing. I felt like I was putting on a performance for the internet because that's my job. I was like, am I more masculine? Does that mean my partner doesn't love me because I'm not as feminine or soft? I really was questioning myself, and I had to realize femininity and masculinity are subjective. Like, if you lead with your feminine side, amazing. If you lead with your masculine side, amazing. For me, I had to learn the balance. And for me, I wasn't comfortable. I became uncomfortable leading in my masculine side because I noticed I was restricting myself, and I felt like I had to just be masculine and put my femininity away. And that meant that I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting my health and my being and self-care and everything that it meant to be a woman to me. I was really putting that to the back burner and focusing more on being dominant and focusing more on striving with my masculine side in order to get me to X, Y, and Z places. I was constantly competing with myself. I was constantly at battle with myself. This whole time, I felt like I was trying to prove myself to other people, when in reality, I was trying to prove myself to myself. I tried to prove my worth and that I was worth everything that I got up until that point. And I say this in past tense, but it still very much is my reality now. So now I want to share some things that I'm doing in order to just bring out my feminine side, because my feminine side is beautiful and amazing. And when I'm so present with that, I'm my best self. And I noticed that in past months with my health, with my relationships, I really want to bring that out more. It just makes me feel better. It makes me feel clearer. It makes me feel happier. When I lead with my masculine energy, I notice that I'm so tense. So the first thing that I'm doing to just help my femininity and exude femininity a little bit more is being one with my body and moving my body. Guys, I used to be a trained dancer. I don't think you guys know. If you've been here a long time, you do. I used to be a trained dancer for about 5 years. Do street dance and contemporary, which I loved being a dancer. And being a dancer and moving your body and being at one with your body is so amazing, because that's when I felt most feminine. Even though, yes, I was doing street dance, complete opposite. It's a bit more aggressive. I loved it. And at the same time, when I was in college, I was about 17. 17 was my favorite age. It was my most amazing age. It was my most fruitful year that I lived. Like, I was in college, I was the healthiest I've ever been. I was on a plant-based diet for about 6 months straight. I done meditation and yoga every single morning before class, and it was amazing. At one with my body. My mind and my body were connected, and that made me feel very mellow, very chill, very like, I wasn't tense like how I am now. I mean, obviously I grew up, I had responsibilities, I had a child, like things changed. That point in my life, moving my body, being connected with my body was amazing. I just felt so much more at peace. Honestly, I miss that feeling of just being connected with my body, because now I feel so disconnected to the point where we're two different people. Like, my mind is one person, my body is a different person. So I want to get back to meditation. I want to get back to doing yoga, to just doing breath work. Being at one with your body, doing breath work, meditation, journaling is so important because it helps give you clarity. You want to walk around in your life. You want to be able to show up in spaces that you're in confidently, not tense, you know, not jumbled. The second thing is accepting that it is okay not to be busy all the time. This is something I'm struggling with, like currently. This is something I'm finding very hard because I like to be busy. My mind is constantly busy. Like, even when I'm filming this video for you guys, even when I'm talking to you and having this conversation with you, I'm also thinking in the back of my mind about 100 different things. That's just how my brain's always been. I think that's why it's manifested to what's been going on with my body, honestly. It's okay not to be busy all the time. I feel like I'm trying to prove myself to the internet. Because I've been on the internet for years now, I've been doing social media for years, I feel like I'm constantly trying to prove something, whether that's trying to prove that I'm an amazing content creator, an amazing videographer, photographer, an amazing editor, an amazing mum, an amazing girlfriend, an amazing parent. I feel like I'm just trying to constantly prove myself. And I didn't admit it for the longest time because I didn't want to be that person that is a people pleaser. I've never admitted to being a people pleaser until recently. And coming to terms with that and coming to terms that I am indeed just trying to perform and trying to keep up with appearances, keep up with trends. And just because I have this following, I felt like I just had to prove that I was worth the following, if that makes sense. And recently I've just been like, no, Jess, like, that's not how it should be. That is not how it should be. You have this following because of who you are. You have this following and this amazing community of people because of your personality, because of what you've been through, because of your story, because of you. Like, just to take a step back from it all and just to look at it and just be like, this is a job at the end of the day. I love this as a job. It's also my life. And because I find it so hard to differentiate the two, I'm constantly doing things. So I needed to learn, and I still need to learn, that it's okay not to be busy. I find myself going through my DMs, even though I've already answered them. Like, I'll find myself doing pointless things. I've already done the task, but I find myself still adding on to it, still trying to do something because I'm just like, am I not doing enough? Am I not doing enough? I need to keep going and going and going. Again, if you haven't seen my last video, I talked about hustle culture. I'll leave it in the information bar and down below. But hustle culture has really been attacking it's been ruining my day-to-day life. I used to fill up my time with meaningless activities, things that didn't add to my life in all aspects. Like, I used to do meaningless things such as like just going to my phone, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Why? Instead of meaninglessly scrolling on TikTok for 5, 10, 15 minutes before bed, read a book, ingest some actual information that will benefit your life instead of keeping up with people. Like, I had to learn to disconnect. I'm still learning to disconnect, and I'm still learning that I have to be mindful with my time. That is something that I think will transform my life if I learn to do it and do it well. Again, I'll keep you updated, and if you're like me, please give it a go and let me know how you're getting on. The last thing that I'm doing to just enable my feminine energy to just be the best that it can be is enjoying my own company and enjoying myself in terms of self-care days and nights, doing my skincare in the morning. Sometimes I just wake up, go to the bathroom, splash my face with some water, you know, wipe off the gunk, and I'll come in the living room, say hi to my family and start my day. Same thing with nighttime. I won't even do my skincare at nighttime. I'll be on my sofa slumped. I'll be very tired. My partner will have to carry me to bed, and then I don't even do my skincare. So I really had to learn, and still I'm learning, to indulge in self-care a little bit more, run myself a nice bath. I've got a million bath bombs that I need to use, okay? That's something I really want to do this year, is start to take myself out a little bit more by myself. A solo trip is needed. Yeah, that's something I really need to do, is just enjoy my own company, and self-affirmations and telling myself that I'm amazing and you're beautiful and you're worth everything you earn. And little things like that just make me feel better. And I feel like it's the tiniest changes that will make the biggest results. And I want you guys to remember that, especially if you're on this journey with me. If you already have like nailed your femininity, give me some tips down below. Give the rest of the girls some tips down below. But that's all for this video. I just wanted to come on and give you guys a little girl talk, a little chat about femininity. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and check out the rest of the girl talk series if you're interested. Let me know what other videos you would like to see. And that's all from me. I'm gonna lay down now because I'm a bit tired. If you guys have enjoyed this video, if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video.